Welcome to the NBA Coast to Coast podcast brought to you by thelines.com. Coming to you from the West Coast, Josh Lander, joined by my guy Nate Weitzer on the East Coast. And we are looking at a 9-game slate here to end your work week in the NBA. In this one, we are taking a look at what we think will be a fun matchup. The Lakers are hosting the Memphis Grizzlies. Also got another game video and our player props up for you, so make sure to like and subscribe to that page so you can follow along with us the rest of this season. Also head to thelines.com. You can check out all of our great written content about the NBA there. Check out Nate's power rankings that he's super proud of all the time. And also use that odds finder tool that we have to make sure you're getting the best juice back on all these U.S. sportsbooks offering you guys bets this season. Nate, let's get into this 9-game slate and then talk Lake Show and Grizz.
Yeah, it opens with the Pels, still without Zion and Ingram. They're -1 at Orlando. Then the other game we break down, Miami, who just destroyed the Pels in New Orleans, -1 in Dallas. That's been fluctuating as a pick'em there. Golden State is +7.5 in Cleveland after going to overtime in Boston last night. Knicks are +3 at Atlanta. Clips -7 at the Spurs. Kawhi and PG are expected to play for the first time in a while there. Pacers +11 without Halliburton at Denver, which has won, I think, 14, 15 straight at home. Got to think they roll again. Nets on a back-to-back are +7.5 at Utah. They're now 0-4 since Durant's injury. The Thunder +3 at the Kings, who might be without Domantas Sabonis, in which case that 241 total is a little high. And the Grizz -7 at the Lakers. The total's at 243.5. And we've seen astronomical totals for the Lakers for a while because of how they started the season. And I mean, not just started, but the first 3 months or so. But they have slowed it down lately. They are at a 98 pace in their last 5 games here. 4 of the 5 have gone under. The over being an exception against Houston, which is just a tanking team. And, I mean, these are unders against elite offensive teams, Denver, Philly, Sacramento, granted with Sabonis out, and a double overtime game against Dallas still all went under. Memphis is on quite a heater, and they've gone over in 8 straight. A lot of those games are at home. A lot of their last 11 wins, in fact, 7 of them have been at home. They've covered in their 4 road games, but disclaimer, I mean, at Toronto without Van Fleet, at Indy without Halliburton, at Orlando and Charlotte, again, tanking teams. And now they're on the road a little more where they definitely slow it down, where they're less likely to explode for the 126 they've been averaging in this win streak. But for me, I think it's more about the Lakers playing a lick of defense, which we said they were unable to do without Anthony Davis. That's a Freudian slip, though. But they're playing decent defense in January. I mean, Wenyen Gabriel and Thomas Bryant are getting more run. I mean, Darvin Ham, it's not like he had a ton of options here, but at the beginning of the season, he seemed like a rookie coach. He just did not have good rotations. The Lakers could have been better than they were defensively when they started posting 125 defensive rating consistently without Davis just erasing these mistakes. And now he's got a rotation down with those bigs, protecting LeBron a little bit, who doesn't have the energy to score 40 and then also anchor their defense. And in January, they're limiting some key factors that Memphis needs, like 5th in fast break points allowed, 9th in points off turnovers, 11th in free throw rate allowed, 11th in offensive rebound allowed, 12th in overall effective field goal percentage. So above average in those things, still well below average in paint points allowed, however, 28th. So that is where we're a little concerned that Memphis does get in there with Ja and everybody and gets their paint points. But 243, we just saw last night with the Warriors Celtics, like, you can have great offensive teams and 240 is just too high. And they couldn't even get there with overtime. The Lakers also, this is the 5th game of a homestand for them. So you can call that extra rest, even though they're on 1-day rest here. And they're 7-1 to the under with 2 days of rest. They're 10-4 to the under with a rest advantage. They've gone under in 6 of their last 9 at home and 6 of their last 9 as underdogs. So this is how they try to keep it calm. They know they're not going to win these shootouts because they don't have much firepower beyond LeBron. They don't have any shooting around LeBron. So they know they're not going to want to get up and down here with Memphis.
Yep, agree with everything you said. I look, looking at their last 5 games to make, your point even stronger about their understanding of how they have to play right now with the limited sort of firepower they have on offense and the limited defense that they have, especially down low, as you said, in the paint. I don't think they want to get into shootouts where they let, guys like Ja and Desmond Bain, and even Triple J get it into space where they're just lethal and they're quicker and better at what they're doing on offense than the Lakers can possibly withstand on defense. In their last 5 for the Lakers, where I believe you mentioned they went under, right, 4 of their last 5, with that one exception being the Rockets, where I think we all predicted points anyway. Like, the Rockets weren't about to start playing defense, and we knew LeBron was licking his chops to get 35 at least in that one and continue scoring route of the league right now that he's doing, but in their last 5 with those unders, 99 pace, down from like the 103 that they were playing on the season, 15th in defensive efficiency, and then 10th in defensive rebound percentage, which is really huge against these Grizzlies, who obviously love to get a bunch of stuff around the rim and crash the offensive boards, with Steven Adams and Triple J. So and then everyone else who's super long, by the way, all over the floor for them. So I think there's plenty to like for and under in this one. That's where I would turn as well. I also don't love the idea of trying to predict a Grizzlies route of any kind. Like you said, LeBron's questionable. He's always questionable right now. There's a few guys like he and Anthony Edwards, I think, are maybe tied for most questionable tags, who then played the whole, like 35 minutes or whatever. So no one's worried about that, especially against a team where I think LeBron gets to, live that hype a little bit and get his team back in the limelight against, one of the best teams in the West. And that's going to create a little bit more of a, I think, let's play some defense and let's like actually have a little bit more efficiency with what we're doing rather than just run and gun. When Russ is not necessarily on the floor, but even Russ has been playing a little bit more within the offense and limiting turnovers, as I think he's on your fantasy team and still doing pretty good stuff for you. So when it comes to scoring at home for the Lake Show, they also are scoring everything off 2-point, which is where Memphis plays their best defense. And then they're also actually have been in their last 7 home games second in points in the paint, have the Lakers, and Memphis is second in limiting points in the paint. So I think that even in the event that, like you said, the biggest fear here is that Memphis does get points in the paint, because as you said, the Lakers are also 7th at limiting fast break points right now at home over the course of their last 7, where the Memphis Grizzlies obviously number 1 in terms of how many fast break points they're scoring on the road, especially, and all those things lead to still, even if the Lakers give up all these points in the paint, to just kind of finish things off here about that, like, then it's a rout at that point. Like, there's the only way that the Lakers withstand the amount of points in the paint that they are likely to give up to the Grizz is if they're just raining threes. And I don't. There's been one game I can recall that I saw that happen where it was wild. I think it was one where they beat the Kings and they shot like 41% from 3 or something, and it was just wild. They hit like 16 of them. That's totally an anomaly for this team. They're not close to the Warriors, who easily hit 16 a game. So without the ability to withstand, it's going to be a rout at that point. And then I'm still not worried about 244 points being scored. So really like the under more than anything.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great point. The Lakers are hitting 9.5 threes at 30% in this 5-game span. And yeah, Memphis is great guarding the 3-point line. They're great everywhere. They're number 1 in defensive efficiency now after this 11-game heater, and number 5 on the road overall in the season. It's really the pace for the Lakers. It's like they were never an elite offensive team. They were just playing fast enough that we got to the 120s, and that's how they were trying to compete. But again, with a 98 pace, the stats are just going to dip on both sides here. And it has to be the number 1 point of emphasis from LeBron and the coaches is like, look, we got to get back against this team. We cannot let Ja get going in the open court. And that's what they'll be able to do. I think to a degree, at least, is keep this relatively close. Or if they don't, like you said, they'll pull the plug and get ready for their quick road game in Portland in 2 nights. And they probably won't come along for the ride with 120 if LeBron's going to be getting some rest.
Yeah, I don't know if they are either. I would fully agree. Like you said, are they going to come along for the ride? If LeBron needs rest, not really sure, but either way, if he's getting his, they're just able to shut down what everybody else is doing. Like you said, I've been focused so much on Memphis's paint defense, but they've just been basically the best defense. And I think that slower pace for the Lakers over their last 5 or so, 3 of which were at home. I think you can bank a little bit more on this one going to that route as well. So that is all the time we have for you in this one. Make sure to like and subscribe to that page. Continue to follow along with us. Got our another game video and our player props video up for you today. So until we see you next, happy betting.